The ocean is vast, timeless, and eternal. Waves rise and fall like the heartbeat of the earth. Beneath the surface, mysteries shimmer in silence. Legends whisper of a ruler who commands the tides. His name carries the weight of thunder and salt. He is Poseidon, the Eternal Sea King. Tonight, we journey into his realm of water and wonder. Close your eyes and listen to the rhythm of the sea. Every ripple is a story, every current a memory. The ocean is not only waves, but also wisdom. It speaks softly through winds and echoes of shells. Poseidon has always been there, watching in silence. He is not only power, but also balance and calm. Sailors once prayed for his favor across open seas. They left offerings, hoping for safe return and fair winds. To them, Poseidon was both protector and teacher. The sea can be gentle, yet it reminds us of respect. Its depths hide treasures, dreams, and forgotten voices. We begin where the waves touch the shore of myth. This is the tale of Poseidon, the eternal king of the sea. In the beginning, the world was raw, unshaped, and wild. The sky stretched endless, the earth was restless, and the sea was infinite. From this chaos rose the gods, children of eternity and silence. Among them was Poseidon, destined to reign over the waters. He was born not with fury, but with a deep calm. The sea was already inside him, vast and unmeasured. Waves followed his breath, tides followed his steps. The ocean was not his possession, but his essence. Each ripple carried his spirit, each current his pulse. When he opened his eyes, the horizon bowed in light. The sound of the ocean was his first lullaby. He grew among immortals, yet he belonged to the waters. The other gods claimed sky, fire, and stone. Poseidon did not fight. He listened to the sea's call. The waves whispered, promising a kingdom without end. The deep ocean stretched like an uncharted dream. He felt the pull of its mystery, stronger than fate. Where others saw danger, he saw beauty unfolding. The abyss was not darkness, but endless possibility. Poseidon's trident was not forged for battle alone. It was a key, a bridge, a symbol of harmony. With it, he could stir the waters or calm them. He could summon clouds or clear the skies above. The trident shone like lightning trapped in crystal waves. It was not a weapon, but an extension of his soul. As he grew, the sea began to shape itself around him. Coral rose like palaces, pearls gleamed like lanterns. Creatures of every size came close, unafraid of his power. They swam in circles, like dancers around their king. Poseidon smiled, for he saw himself in their freedom. He was not a ruler of chains, but of currents. Each current flowed with grace, never to be caged. The gods above looked down with both awe and envy. They saw his vast domain, endless and untouchable. Yet Poseidon did not boast, for pride was not his way. He knew the sea could lift or sink with equal ease. It taught him patience, balance, and unshaken calm. The ocean moved slowly, but always with purpose. Time itself seemed smaller when measured by waves. Poseidon became the guardian of this eternal rhythm. His kingdom was not bound by walls or towers. It stretched where light faded into endless blue. Each shell, each grain of sand carried his name. Every tide was a greeting, every foam a blessing. Fishermen on distant shores felt his unseen gaze. Children played by the waves, unaware of his presence. Yet he was there, always, steady as the horizon. Legends say he spoke not in words, but in currents. The sea would rise gently when he was pleased. It would roar like thunder when he was restless. But never out of cruelty, only as reminder. The ocean could cradle or challenge, just as life. Poseidon was not feared, deeply respected. Mortals built shrines, not out of dread, but reverence. They knew the sea was life, food, and passage. They knew Poseidon's hand guided their journeys. Even the smallest droplet bore a trace of him. For the sea was his heart, endless and eternal. In the beginning, Poseidon did not seek power. He sought harmony with the living world of waters. And the ocean, in turn, crowned him its eternal king. Thus began the reign of Poseidon, Lord of waves. A reign not of conquest, but of balance and wonder. And his story flows onward, like the sea without end. The ocean breathes with a rhythm older than time itself. Each tide carries a secret, each wave a memory of ages past. Poseidon listens to this endless breath with steady patience. He is not separate from it, for the sea and he are one. The ocean is his voice, his heart, and his eternal companion. When the waters rise and fall, it is his spirit that moves. The gentle pull of tides mirrors the inhale and exhale of life. Sailors once said the sea was alive because Poseidon breathed. At dawn, the ocean shines soft, as if smiling in his calm. At dusk, it hums with deep tones, like his whispered lullaby. The trident in his hand glows with the pulse of the waters. It is not merely a symbol of strength, but of divine harmony. When Poseidon touches the sea with it, the waves obey gently. They dance in circles, gleaming silver beneath the moonlight. In storms, the trident hums with a roar of rolling thunder. But even then, it does not rage with cruelty, only with truth. The storm is the ocean's breath taken in a deeper tone. It teaches mortals that balance is born of calm and wild. The trident reminds the world that water is both soft and strong. Poseidon holds it not to conquer, but to keep the sea in rhythm. Without him, the waters would wander without song or pattern. With him, they flow as veins of the earth, steady and sure. The ocean's breath also binds the land, shaping its edges. Every coastline is a signature drawn by Poseidon's rhythm. He writes in sand, erasing and redrawing without end. The shore is a canvas, the tide his brush of silver foam. No two waves are the same, yet each is part of a cycle. So too is every life touched by the sea, unique yet eternal. Children playing by the shore breathe in the salt of his gift. Fishermen rise before dawn, trusting his quiet protection. Travelers sail across horizons, guided by his unseen hand. They whisper prayers not out of fear, but out of gratitude. For each tide that carries them home is Poseidon's blessing. The breath of the ocean is the music of existence itself. It carries joy, sorrow, memory, and hope in endless motion. The waves tell stories of ships, storms, and lost horizons. They echo with laughter, cries, and the silence of mystery. Poseidon hears them all, every sound born of the sea. He is not distant, but close, listening with eternal care. Mortals may forget him, yet he never forgets mortals. His breath surrounds them each time they hear the waves. The ocean breath is not only sound, but also feeling. It can soothe the weary, refresh the spirit, calm the mind. It can also stir courage, awaken awe, or summon humility. Poseidon guides each current to remind the world of this truth, that life, like the sea, is a cycle of calm and storm, that every heart beats with the same rhythm as the tide. And so, his breath is eternal, unbroken, and unending. When you stand at the shore and feel the wind on your skin, when you hear the hush of water rushing over stones, when you watch the horizon vanish into mist and light, know that it is Poseidon breathing with the world. His gift is not force, but the eternal song of balance. The ocean breath is life itself, and he is its keeper. For as long as waves touch the sand, he will endure. And as long as hearts beat with rhythm, he will be near. This is the breath of the ocean, the soul of Poseidon, and it flows forever, timeless, like the sea without end. Beneath the rolling waves lies a kingdom unseen by mortal eyes. It is a realm not of stone and fire, but of water and light. Poseidon shaped it with care, letting the sea itself be its architect. Its walls are coral spires, glowing with colors brighter than gems. Pearls glimmer like stars scattered across a midnight ocean sky. Golden sands stretch across valleys where silence feels eternal. Seaweed drifts like banners, swaying gently in the endless current. Here, Poseidon walks as king, but also as guardian of beauty. His palace is not a fortress, but a beacon within the depths. It glows softly, built from shells that hum with ocean songs. The halls shimmer as fish swim through archways like dancers. Every chamber echoes with the rhythm of tides and currents. No stone is lifeless, for every part of the palace breathes. The walls themselves sparkle with trapped light from above. Mortals may dream of gold, but Poseidon's wealth is wonder. He treasures not coins, but the living jewels of the sea. Each dolphin leaping is a celebration, each whale song a hymn. Every school of fish paints colors across the shifting halls. The kingdom is alive, vast, and ever-changing like the tide. Its gates are open to all creatures who dwell in the sea. Turtles glide like ancient keepers of secret wisdom. Sharks circle with dignity, fierce yet loyal to their king. Octopuses stretch curious arms, exploring every hidden corner. Jellyfish drift like lanterns, glowing softly in the dark. Together, they form a court more diverse than any on land. Each creature has a place, each current carries its voice. Poseidon listens, for his rule is not of chains, but of harmony. He speaks with no crown, for the sea itself crowns him daily. Even the smallest shell feels his presence, glowing in his light. The palace is said to echo with the laughter of the waves. It is not silent, but filled with gentle music of the deep. Whales sing, currents hum, and shells whisper ancient tales. Every sound is woven into the eternal hymn of the sea. Here, mortals cannot walk, but their spirits are remembered. Ships that sank with dreams and treasures now rest in peace. Poseidon guards them, not as spoils, but as silent memories. He keeps them safe within the calm of his watery halls. The kingdom is not built of conquest, but of remembrance. It honors all who ever touch the sea with love or awe. Above, mortals see only waves and shifting light on water. Below, an entire world thrives in quiet, unseen splendor. This is Poseidon's true throne, beneath layers of mystery. His trident rests beside him, glowing softly in the dark. It pulses with the rhythm of waves, linking king and sea. In this kingdom, he does not reign with fear or command. He reigns with presence, as steady as the ocean's breath. Every coral arch, every glowing pearl is part of his story. And his story is written not in ink, but in currents of life. When storms pass above, his halls remain calm and bright. They glow like a lighthouse, unseen but steady below. The sea creatures gather there, finding shelter in his care. They know no harm, for their king watches with quiet strength. His throne is not carved from gold, but grown from coral. It is living, shifting, always a part of the ocean's body. Poseidon sits upon it, not apart from the sea, but within it. He does not command the sea. He is the sea's eternal voice. And so his kingdom is more than palace or crown. It is every wave, every reef, every shimmering depth. Mortals who stand at the shore and dream of the horizon. They sense the kingdom without knowing it, in their hearts. For when they feel awe before the ocean, they touch Poseidon, They glimpse his palace in the sparkle of foam on waves. They hear its songs in the distant call of gulls at dawn. They feel its breath in the rhythm of tides at night. The kingdom is not hidden to punish, but to protect. It is a secret gift, a reminder of the world beyond land. Poseidon's palace beneath the waves is eternal and alive. It whispers of wonder to those who choose to listen. And it waits, glowing forever in the heart of the sea. The sea does not always whisper with gentle waves and calm tides. At times it speaks louder, rising with the voice of storms. This is the voice of Poseidon, strong, deep, and unshaken. Not a cry of anger, but a reminder of the sea's vast truth. Storms are not curses. They are lessons written in water and wind. They remind mortals that the ocean is alive and eternal. Clouds gather above like curtains pulled across the sky. Winds sweep the waves into towering walls of silver and foam. Lightning flashes, not as wrath, but as illumination of power. Thunder rolls like drums, echoing the pulse of Poseidon's heart. The sea surges, its rhythm faster, its breath heavier and wild. In these moments, the world remembers its fragile balance. Ships tremble, not from hate, but from the force of nature. The storm is a teacher, humbling those who forget respect. Poseidon does not rage for destruction, but for awareness. His storms are voices, deep messages from the heart of the sea. They remind mortals to tread gently, to honor the waters. Every wave that rises is a word, every gust a sentence. Together, they form a hymn of warning and wonder combined. Sailors once prayed when storms gathered on the horizon. They would bow heads and whisper to the god of the sea, not in fear alone, but in recognition of his eternal strength. For storms could destroy, but they could also guide safely. A storm's path might open new routes or reveal hidden shores. It could push ships to safety, even as it tested their courage. Poseidon's hand is felt in the rise and fall of these tempests. He is there in every crash of wave and cry of the gull. The storm is the ocean breathing deeper than usual, a reminder that balance comes from calm and chaos alike. When the skies darken and the horizon fades in rain, when winds howl and waters leap higher than sails, it is Poseidon reminding the world of its own fragility. The sea cannot always be gentle, nor should life always be calm. There is wisdom in the struggle, courage in facing the storm. For after every storm comes the hush of peace and light. The clouds part, and the sea shines again with silver calm. The storm becomes memory, but its lesson lingers forever. Mortals who survive carry deeper respect in their hearts. They remember the sound of the waves roaring like giants. They remember the winds shaking their sails and souls. And they remember the sudden calm that followed. That calm is Poseidon's gift, the promise of renewal. The ocean breathes out, releasing the storm into silence. The surface glitters once more like glass in the sun. Creatures rise again to swim freely in the softened tides. The storm, though fierce, leaves behind new clarity. Rivers carved, coasts reshaped, skies cleared with light. Poseidon's storms are not destruction, but transformation. The earth shifts, the seas cleanse, and life begins again. Even mortals far inland hear the echo of his voice. The rain that falls on fields carries the sea's blessing. The thunder rolling across mountains carries his rhythm. No corner of the world is untouched by his message. Storms remind us that Poseidon is not only in calm seas. He is in the crash of waves, the roar of winds, the flash of light. He is present when fear rises and courage is born. For storms do not come to end life, but to awaken it. They are passages, transitions from silence to renewal. The voice of the storm is the soul of the sea unbound. It is Poseidon speaking to mortals in language of nature. A voice without anger, without cruelty, yet full of power. A voice that humbles, teaches, and ultimately blesses. When you hear the storm above the waves, remember this: it is not destruction, but Poseidon reminding the world that respect and balance are the heart of his eternal sea. And after the storm, his calm returns, endless and sure. So the cycle continues, as it has since the dawn of time. The storm roars, the calm whispers, and Poseidon endures. Beneath the waves lies a kingdom unseen by mortal eyes, a realm of coral towers, jeweled shells, and glowing sands. This is the home of Poseidon, vast and endless in wonder. Not carved of stone, but grown by the rhythm of the sea. Every reef is a wall, every cavern a hall, alive with light. Fishes swim in patterns that resemble living tapestries. Dolphins leap in joy, their laughter echoing through domes. Whales sing songs that roll like hymns in deep chambers. Here, the sea itself is the architecture of divinity. No throne of gold could shine brighter than the waters. Poseidon's throne is of pearl and shell, yet humble in form. It is not wealth that crowns him, but the respect of the sea. Every creature, small or great, knows his silent presence. Even currents shift gently when he passes through them. The kingdom breathes as one body, vast and eternal. Jellyfish glow like lanterns along the palace corridors. Seahorses drift in clusters like guardians of the gates. Crabs scuttle across coral bridges, polished by waves. The light of the sun above falls as silver through water. It paints the kingdom in hues of sapphire and emerald. When the moon rises, the ocean glimmers with magic. Stars above mirror the sparks of life below the waves. Poseidon walks here not as a tyrant, but as a guardian. Every movement of his hand is echoed by the tides. His voice is not often raised, but its tone shapes the sea. When he whispers, the reefs bloom with new colors. When he sighs, the currents change their gentle course. Even silence carries his presence, deep and calm. The kingdom thrives because balance is kept in order. Creatures of the deep live side by side in harmony. Predators and prey follow the rhythm of the sea. There is no chaos, for all is bound by Poseidon's will. The ocean itself is a teacher of balance and respect. Those who dwell within honor the eternal harmony. It is not fear that binds them, but reverence for peace. Poseidon's kingdom is more than a realm of creatures. It is a sanctuary of wisdom, where silence holds power. Waves are the language, and currents are the breath. Every grain of sand whispers a story of the deep past. Every ripple carries a promise of tomorrow's calm. Even mortals who sail above sense the unseen majesty. They feel the pull of currents and wonder at the deep. Sailors speak of a city that glimmers beneath the waves. A city of shells, pearls, and light, ruled by the Sea King. Though they cannot see, they believe in its presence. For legends tell that Poseidon's kingdom guides them. It offers safe passage when storms might rise. It calms waters when prayers reach the deep. And sometimes, in the still of night, sailors swear they see faint lights glowing far beneath their ships, like a city of stars living in the heart of the ocean. That light, they say, is Poseidon's gift of guidance, to remind them that the sea holds not only danger, but beauty, wonder, and the eternal promise of life. The kingdom endures as a reflection of Poseidon's soul, vast, endless, patient, yet alive with hidden strength. Its walls do not fall, for they are waves themselves. Its gates do not close, for the sea welcomes all life. It is a realm unseen, but deeply felt by every heart. The kingdom of Poseidon is the heartbeat of the sea, and through it, the ocean whispers its eternal truth. Far beneath the waves lies not only beauty, but mystery. The ocean floor stretches wider than all continents combined. Canyons run deeper than mountains rise on land above. Within these abysses dwell secrets untold for millennia. Poseidon walks there as master of silence and depth. His eyes see what no mortal eyes could ever endure. Creatures of shadow glide in darkness lit by faint sparks. Glowing fish drift like stars in the midnight waters. Octopuses spread arms like curtains across hidden doors. Some beings bear light upon their skin like lanterns. Others carry silence in their forms, unseen, unnoticed. This is the deep kingdom, where mystery becomes life. The ocean here is not chaos, but an eternal dreamscape. No sun has ever touched these plains of shadow, yet they are alive with whispers of time itself. Here, Poseidon keeps treasures of wisdom beyond sight. They are not gold or jewels, but memories of the sea. Every current that passes carries history in its breath. Every stone bears witness to ages long forgotten. Mortals think the deep only holds fear and void. But in truth, it is a library of life's eternal song. Whale bones rest here as monuments of passing ages. Coral skeletons grow like towers from forgotten ruins. Seashells hold echoes of voices carried for centuries. Poseidon walks with patience through these cathedrals. Each step is silence, each silence full of meaning. The creatures here bow not with fear, but reverence. They know he is the keeper of balance in shadow. For even in darkness, the sea requires harmony. Predators here do not slay without purpose. They dance with prey in cycles older than men. The abyss itself pulses with the rhythm of the earth. Geysers breathe steam, warming the deep, cold waters. Minerals rise, feeding life unseen to surface dwellers. Poseidon listens to these breaths as a priest listens to hymns. Each pulse of the ocean floor is a prayer of creation. Each spark of life a note in the endless song. Mortals who dream of the deep rarely know its truth. They imagine monsters hiding in the crushing dark. Yet monsters are myths created by fear of the unknown. In Poseidon's deep, there are only guardians of balance. Some rise to the surface on rare nights of still seas. Sailors glimpse shapes gliding beneath moonlit waves. They tell tales of leviathans and beasts of shadow. But Poseidon smiles, for these are only his children. Children of the abyss, keepers of mystery and wonder. They frighten, but they do not hate or seek harm. They are proof that life exists even in shadow. The deep is a mirror of life's resilience and patience. It teaches that beauty is not only in the light. It dwells also in places unseen, unlit, unspoken. Poseidon guards this truth with unwavering calm, for he knows mortals are not yet ready to understand. The abyss would break their fragile courage of heart. Yet he offers glimpses in dreams, gentle as tides. Some poets awake with visions of glowing seas. Some painters craft images of creatures unknown. These are gifts from Poseidon, whispers of the deep. Not full truths, but enough to inspire wonder. For wonder is the first step toward respect, and respect is the only key to harmony with the sea. In the deep, Poseidon holds the greatest secret of all. That darkness is not absence, but a canvas of creation. The abyss is not empty, but filled with quiet strength. It is the breath before the song, the silence before dawn. And in this silence, Poseidon listens, eternal and calm. The ocean's deepest secret is that it is never empty. It is always alive, always speaking, always dreaming. And Poseidon is its guardian, keeper of its voice. So when mortals look at the sea and feel its mystery, they are touching only the edge of Poseidon's deep truth. The truth that within silence, the universe still sings. Far beneath the waves lies not only beauty, but mystery. The ocean floor stretches wider than all continents combined. Canyons run deeper than mountains rise on land above. Within these abysses dwell secrets untold for millennia. Poseidon walks there as master of silence and depth. His eyes see what no mortal eyes could ever endure. Creatures of shadow glide in darkness, lit by faint sparks. Glowing fish drift like stars in the midnight waters. Octopuses spread arms like curtains across hidden doors. Some beings bear light upon their skin like lanterns. Others carry silence in their forms, unseen, unnoticed. This is the deep kingdom, where mystery becomes life. The ocean here is not chaos, but an eternal dreamscape. No sun has ever touched these plains of shadow. Yet they are alive with whispers of time itself. Here, Poseidon keeps treasures of wisdom beyond sight. They are not gold or jewels, but memories of the sea. Every current that passes carries history in its breath. Every stone bears witness to ages long forgotten. Mortals think the deep only holds fear and void. But in truth, it is a library of life's eternal song. Whale bones rest here as monuments of passing ages. Coral skeletons grow like towers from forgotten ruins. Seashells hold echoes of voices carried for centuries. Poseidon walks with patience through these cathedrals. Each step is silence, each silence full of meaning. The creatures here bow not with fear, but reverence. They know he is the keeper of balance in shadow. For even in darkness, the sea requires harmony. Predators here do not slay without purpose. They dance with prey in cycles older than men. The abyss itself pulses with the rhythm of the earth. Geysers breathe steam, warming the deep, cold waters. Minerals rise, feeding life unseen to surface dwellers. Poseidon listens to these breaths as a priest listens to hymns. Each pulse of the ocean floor is a prayer of creation. Each spark of life a note in the endless song. Mortals who dream of the deep rarely know its truth. They imagine monsters hiding in the crushing dark. Yet monsters are myths created by fear of the unknown. In Poseidon's deep, there are only guardians of balance. Some rise to the surface on rare nights of still seas. Sailors glimpse shapes gliding beneath moonlit waves. They tell tales of leviathans and beasts of shadow. But Poseidon smiles, for these are only his children. Children of the abyss, keepers of mystery and wonder. They frighten, but they do not hate or seek harm. They are proof that life exists even in shadow. The deep is a mirror of life's resilience and patience. It teaches that beauty is not only in the light, it dwells also in places unseen, unlit, unspoken. Poseidon guards this truth with unwavering calm, for he knows mortals are not yet ready to understand. The abyss would break their fragile courage of heart. Yet he offers glimpses in dreams, gentle as tides. Some poets awake with visions of glowing seas. Some painters craft images of creatures unknown. These are gifts from Poseidon, whispers of the deep. Not full truths, but enough to inspire wonder. For wonder is the first step toward respect, and respect is the only key to harmony with the sea. In the deep, Poseidon holds the greatest secret of all. That darkness is not absence, but a canvas of creation. The abyss is not empty, but filled with quiet strength. It is the breath before the song, the silence before dawn. And in this silence, Poseidon listens, eternal and calm. The ocean's deepest secret is that it is never empty. It is always alive, always speaking, always dreaming. And Poseidon is its guardian, keeper of its voice. So when mortals look at the sea and feel its mystery, they are touching only the edge of Poseidon's deep truth. The truth that within silence, the universe still sings. The sea has many moods, and each carries a lesson for those who listen. Sometimes it is calm, like glass stretched to the horizon. Other times it is restless, whispering with ripples and sighs. But there are moments when the sea sings a brighter song. This song is joy, rising in laughter, play, and celebration. For even the Eternal Sea King understands happiness. Poseidon does not only guard storms or silence, he also shapes the joy that ripples through his realm. In the shallow waters, dolphins gather in circles. They leap high, splashing silver droplets like jewels. Their cries echo like flutes, clear and playful. Fishes dart in schools, shimmering like ribbons of light. Turtles drift lazily, basking in warmth near the surface. Seals clap their fins, joining the rhythm of the waves. It is as if the sea itself laughs through its children. The kingdom of Poseidon glows brighter in such times. Corals pulse with color, brighter than any gem on land. Anemones sway like dancers in an unseen current. Even the currents seem lighter, carrying joy along. Poseidon watches with a calm smile upon his face, for he knows the sea is not only depth and silence, it is also delight, a sanctuary for laughter and life. In these moments, the ocean resembles a festival. Each creature plays its part, weaving joy in the waters. Whales sing long, low notes that ripple through the deep. The sound blends with dolphin chatter in harmony. Shrimps crackle faintly, adding sparks to the melody. Together they create an orchestra of the sea's delight. The sea's joy is not like mortal amusement. It is deeper, older, and free of burden or sorrow. It is the joy of existence, pure and unbroken. The joy of swimming, breathing, and simply being. This is Poseidon's gift, as much as storms or silence. He grants creatures a place to feel the rhythm of joy. Sailors have spoken of such moments with wonder. They tell of waters glowing in the dark of night, bioluminescent waves rolling like fields of stars, fish dancing through the glow, leaving trails of light. Some swear they heard laughter in the rush of waves, not frightening, but comforting and strangely kind. Perhaps they glimpsed Poseidon's gentler side. The sea, in joy, becomes a friend to mortal hearts. It reminds them that life is not only trial and storm, it is also play, laughter, and the wonder of togetherness. Children on shores laugh as waves chase their feet. Unknowingly, they share in the sea's eternal joy. Each ripple that touches them carries Poseidon's spirit. Each splash is a reminder of the sea's lightness. For the ocean is not endless weight alone. It is also a place of freedom, vast and liberating. The joy of the sea is eternal because it is shared. Every creature, from the smallest to the greatest, joins. And Poseidon, though king, does not stand apart. He too is part of this harmony, laughing with his realm. Not in thunder, not in storm, but in gentle ripples. His laughter is the hush of waves upon soft sands. It is the whisper of tides beneath a silver moon. It is the sparkle of sunlight across morning waters. In joy, the sea speaks of balance and harmony. It shows that strength is not only in storms. True strength is also in laughter that endures. Joy sustains the heart as much as food or air. Poseidon teaches this through the sea's bright moments. So when mortals gaze at the ocean and smile, they share. They share in the endless joy of the Eternal Sea King. For joy, like the tide, is a rhythm that never ends. It rises, falls, and rises again, eternal as the sea. Mortals have long looked to the sea with both awe and need. They built ships of wood and cloth, trusting the waves. They prayed for winds, for calm waters, and safe return. And always, their voices rose toward Poseidon's realm. For to sail the ocean was to place life in his hands. Every voyage became a prayer carried by the tides. Poseidon listened, not as a distant god, but as a guide. He watched their sails cross his waters with fragile hope. He felt their fear when storms gathered suddenly above. He heard their laughter when journeys reached safe shores. And he knew the courage it took to trust the open sea. Mortals gave him offerings of wine, bread, and coins. They cast them into the waves with bowed heads, not to bribe, but to honor, to ask for his blessing. The sea is vast, and their ships were small and fragile. Yet their faith gave them strength, and Poseidon heard. In return, he granted moments of grace and safety. Calm seas when danger loomed, winds when sails hung still, a sudden current guiding ships to lands unseen. These were gifts, not of wealth, but of survival. And so legends spread of Poseidon's guiding hand. Sailors told of voices carried in the sound of waves. They spoke of dreams where the Sea King appeared, not in anger, but in calm, offering direction and hope. He was a god of the deep, yet close to their hearts. Many believed he walked unseen among their crews, a tall stranger with eyes the color of the ocean, a figure who vanished once safety was found. These tales gave mortals comfort in uncertain waters. They knew the sea could never be conquered, but perhaps, with respect, it could be endured. Poseidon valued this respect above all else. He asked not for fear, but for reverence and balance. Those who honored the sea found smoother paths. Those who forgot often faced harsher lessons. Yet even in lessons, Poseidon's hand was gentle. The sea did not destroy without giving wisdom. Every loss taught courage, every storm taught respect. Mortals slowly learned that the sea was not an enemy. It was a teacher, eternal and endlessly patient. Poseidon guided them not only across waters. He guided their hearts toward humility and wonder. For every wave carries more than salt and spray. It carries the wisdom of ages, the memory of the world. Mortals began to see voyages as sacred journeys, not just trade or conquest, but communion with the sea. To sail was to walk briefly in Poseidon's realm, to live by his mercy and learn from his rhythm. They sang songs to honor him as they rowed. Their voices rose like gulls above the foam. Each note was a thread connecting them to his presence. Even now, whispers of those prayers linger in the wind. They drift across harbors, hidden in the call of waves. For Poseidon still listens, still guides those who honor. He is not gone, nor silent, nor distant in the deep. The Eternal Sea King remains where water moves. In every river that meets the sea, his spirit flows. In every tide that touches the shore, his hand rests. Mortals may forget, but the ocean never does. It remembers every prayer, every song, every offering. And Poseidon, in turn, remembers every soul. For the bond between sea and mortal is eternal. It is a covenant written not in ink, but in tides. A covenant of trust, respect, and shared wonder. To sail upon the ocean is to walk with a god. And Poseidon, though vast, always walks beside them. The ocean has always been a place of mystery beyond mortal sight. Its surface reveals little of the wonders beneath. Sailors imagined monsters and shadows in the depths. But Poseidon knew his realm was not of fear, but marvel. He shaped it with beauty hidden under waves and tides. The sea is not only salt and storm, but also wonder. Coral gardens stretch wide like cities of living stone. Colors brighter than any jewel glow in secret silence. Fish weave through them like dancers in endless motion. Some shine silver, others glimmer like molten gold. Schools turn as one, painting patterns in the water. The deeper one travels, the stranger the beauty becomes. Creatures with lanterns of light drift in the dark. Their glow forms constellations under the waves. Jellyfish pulse like fragile stars drifting in silence. Their tendrils weave a curtain of delicate fire. Poseidon walks through these places as a guardian. He knows every current, every hidden cave of pearl. He listens to the hum of the ocean's secret heart. For even the deep sea has a rhythm like a song. There are forests of kelp swaying like tall trees. They shelter creatures that play hide and seek in shadows. Seahorses cling to stems, curling their tails gently. Otters crack shells upon their chests like tiny blacksmiths. Every corner of the ocean carries its own story. From the smallest crab to the largest whale in the deep. Poseidon is not simply king, but a steward of wonders. He watches not with pride, but with careful reverence. For beauty is fragile, even in the strongest sea. And the ocean's treasures must be kept in balance. Pearls grow in the hearts of patient oysters. They shine like captured moons, hidden from the world. Sailors who found them believed them to be gifts, signs of favor from Poseidon's eternal realm. But the true treasure is not pearl or shell. It is the harmony of life that thrives unseen. Turtles crossing oceans guided by memory of stars. Sharks circling with ancient grace and silent power. Whales singing songs that travel across vast waters. Songs older than cities, older than mortal dreams. Poseidon alone can hear them in their fullness. He answers with silence, the silence of understanding. For he knows every creature is a verse of the sea. Together, they form a hymn that never ends. Mortals who dive beneath the surface glimpse this truth. They see colors and movements beyond their imagining. They return changed, humbled by the vast, hidden world. The ocean shows them how little they have seen. And yet, Poseidon allows glimpses of its secret beauty. Not to boast, but to remind of wonder and care. For wonder leads to respect, and respect to balance. The sea thrives not through conquest, but through harmony. Every creature, small or great, plays a sacred role. The reefs, the currents, the tides, all are connected. Poseidon's greatest gift is not power, but wonder. The ability to look upon the ocean with childlike eyes. To see mystery not as fear, but as beauty unknown. Mortals who honor this gift carry it in their hearts. They write songs and poems of what they saw. They speak of colors that could not be named, of fish like ribbons and lights in endless night. And though they return to land, they remain changed. The sea has touched them, softened their pride. Poseidon smiles when mortals honor his wonders, for then they walk closer to the truth of the ocean. It is not a place of terror, but of marvel, a cathedral of life that stretches without end. Every shell upon the sand is a story. Every ripple is an echo of hidden beauty. And Poseidon, eternal king, is its keeper. Not to hoard, but to preserve for all time. The ocean's treasures are not for one hand alone. They belong to all who walk in balance with the sea. Thus the wonders remain, eternal as the tides. A secret kingdom open only to eyes of reverence. And those who glimpse it never forget its light. For the ocean is a mirror of the divine, and Poseidon, in his wisdom, shares its glow. The sea is eternal, and so too is the spirit of its king. From the first wave to the last ripple, Poseidon endures. His trident rests not only in myth, but in every tide. Every sunrise upon the horizon carries his silent gaze. Every moonlit night upon the waves reflects his memory. He is not gone, for the sea itself cannot vanish. The ocean breathes, and in its breath lives Poseidon. He is the voice in the whisper of a seashell held close. He is the shimmer of light where water meets sky. He is the strength beneath ships, guiding their way home. The Eternal Sea King is more than storm or silence. He is the balance of power and gentleness intertwined. He is the lesson of respect given by the endless tides. For mortals who listen, the sea becomes a teacher. It shows them that life, like the ocean, is vast. It cannot be controlled, only honored and understood. Its depths hold fears, but also wonders without end. Poseidon is both guardian and mirror of these truths. Those who honor him walk in harmony with the sea. Those who forget may learn, but never without wisdom. Yet even in hardship, the sea does not abandon. It teaches through waves, guiding hearts to humility. For strength is not in conquest, but in reverence. Poseidon reminds mortals that they are small, yet precious. Each life is a ripple that touches the greater waters. Each act of kindness echoes farther than one can see. The sea teaches connection, for all things flow together. Rivers meet oceans, skies feed rain, and tides return. Nothing is lost, only transformed in endless rhythm. So too is Poseidon, endless in his form and presence. He is the tide that leaves and comes again, eternal. Mortals may fade, but the sea remembers their prayers. It carries them like shells upon its timeless floor. In this, Poseidon becomes not a distant god, but kin. He is part of the world as much as breath and flame. The sea will outlast empires, kingdoms, and crowns. Yet the memory of Poseidon will outlast even the sea. For he is not only the ocean, but the idea of eternity. He is the truth that power and peace must walk together. And so his tale does not end, for the waves do not end. They roll on, carrying whispers of his eternal reign. Sailors still speak his name when storms rise high. Children still laugh as waves chase them on the shore. Dreamers still hear his voice in the lull of the tide. The Eternal Sea King walks with them, unseen but near. He does not seek temples of stone or crowns of gold. His temple is the horizon, his crown the endless sky. He needs no throne but the waves beneath the moon. For his kingdom is not bound by land or wall. It stretches wherever water flows and winds carry. And so long as the sea exists, Poseidon reigns, not as tyrant, but as guardian and eternal guide. His story lingers, told in foam and song and silence. It is passed in whispers, in legends, in the ocean's sigh. Every listener becomes part of the tale, part of the tide. For the sea belongs to all, and Poseidon to the sea. Thus we close our journey, yet it does not truly end. For the ocean still waits, eternal and unbroken. Its waves rise and fall, carrying memory like breath. And somewhere within, Poseidon listens still. He watches, he guides, he smiles in his silence. The Eternal Sea King, timeless as the waters he keeps. So when next you stand upon a shore and listen, when the wind carries salt and the waves call softly, remember the tale of Poseidon, king without end. For in each tide, his story begins once more.